Next, campaigners are celebrating tonight after a controversial housing scheme on the Cambridgeshire-Essex border was turned down by planners. Today's vote was in the fast-growing district of Uttlesford, covering Saffron Walden and Stansted. Over the next 20 years, the Office for National Statistics expects its population to rise by 27% to around 100,000 people. Uttlesford Council currently has more than 1,600 households on its waiting list. Its long-term plan is to build more than 2,000 homes between the villages of Elsenham and Henham. In a moment, we'll hear from Richard Daniel with the campaigners, but first, Alex Dunlop on the case for many more new homes.
We got basically a studio flat.
So you've got this room upstairs there?
Yes.
And then just below that, the kitchen, and that's it?
Gina shows me the apartment she shares in Elsenham with her husband and baby. They can't afford to buy, so they pay £500 rent a month. Gina works at nearby Stansted Airport.
It's really hard to get on the mortgage ladder these days, as probably everyone knows. It's not the easiest situation to be in.
So if there were new homes in the area, would you be in favour?
Oh, definitely, definitely.
It's the same story for James, who still lives with his parents in Harlow.
So if they built these homes, you'd be up for it?
Yeah, definitely. Well, being in my favour, you know, when I have got the money for a deposit and I'm looking, they're realistic, the only sort of places that I'm going to be able to afford.
This estate agent's window in Elsenham gives you an idea of the problem. If you want to buy, you're looking at around £400,000 to £500,000 for a 4-bedroom house, and if you want to rent, here's a 3-bedroom house for £1,000 a month.
That's one reason why local planners have recommended the development of 800 new homes nearby.
I'm afraid houses are needed, and how we do it in a way that doesn't wreck the whole character of the area is the $64,000 question.
The developers say Fairfield, close to the M11, would be sustainable and is desperately needed.
It's going to have something for everybody, as well as the development. We've got new open spaces being created, we've got new school facilities being created, we've got facilities for the elderly being created. One of the requirements will be to provide bungalows on the site as part of the affordable housing. That's something that we're happy to support.
We do have a housing problem in the district. We're a sad lack of affordable housing. We have 1,600 households on our list currently waiting to get accommodation. They're either living with parents, if they're young people, they're overcrowded situations, and there's a desperate need to release some more housing.
Those opposing the new homes won out today, but the developers are likely to appeal. Alex Dunlop, BBC Look East, Saffron Walden.
So what do the campaigners think of those arguments? Richard Daniel has been to meet the villagers celebrating victory.
Henham and Elsenham. It's not hard to see why people live here. Pretty as a picture, yet close to Stansted and the M11. For 7 years now, villagers have fought plans to build thousands of new homes in this rural idyll. Today was the latest round in a long-running and expensive fight.
So 7 years and £100,000 later, here we are today. The community's been magnificent. We had fetes, jumble sales, coffee mornings, collection boxes, and individual donations as well.
These are villages that people choose to live in, and they pay a premium price for doing so. They say they're not averse to change. It's the sheer scale of what's proposed that worries them, a scale they say will change the very nature of the place forever.
So this is the land for the first tranche of houses, 800 houses starting here.
The village's argument is simple. Everywhere should take its fair share of new housing. Are you opposed to any building?
Absolutely not, no. Elsenham itself, this year alone, has had planning permission granted for nearly 500 houses. That's in a village of some 800 houses, so I mean, I think they've taken their fair share.
Lunchtime, and protesters arrived at Uttlesford Council for the planning meeting. They were defiant and angry.
They are going to be using land that we should be growing food to feed ourselves in the future.
And the road systems, everything else just won't cope.
It does address the issue of improving roads. It does address the issue.
Inside the council chamber, tempers flared, but just over an hour later, the decision campaigners wanted.
6-4 Chairman, motion's carried.
The plans rejected for a second time.
We're very pleased. Absolutely over the moon we are.
I fear that they'll come back. They are like a dog with a bone.
So celebrations tonight, but the fight over where these new homes should go is far from over.
Richard Daniel reporting.